making a beep sound now, like the OG beep sound. I can never get straight. Like I don't. I guess I don't understand how mirrors work.
Bro,
I always pull the wrong side of the hat. I'll be like,
I
oh, this side's messed up, and it's the wrong one.
I do that all the time.
Oh,
And like I know nobody else can really tell like how our brims, but I'm like, I need it to be perfectly symmetrical.
oh, dumbass boys. All right. Well, welcome to episode 29 of Long Lost Pals, our Chris Brown, the running back episode. You might not remember him. He played for the Titans, and then he played for the Texans for a while. And if I remember, there was one season where he had some costly fumbles, and they had a kicker who was also named Chris Brown, and he had some costly plays. So it was a rough year for Chris Brown's and Houston Texans organization. If you're any fact checkers out there, feel free to correct me if that's incorrect, but I feel like that's a thing. But yes, four of season two, episode 4 of season two.
I
Oh, we
don't know
were
where
gonna stop doing
I'm
this.
going.
We're in
I don't
season two. We're in
know
season two. That's all you need to know.
anything.
Still new us, kind of new-ish segments, and we're gonna get started. I'm Joey.
I'm Corinne. What you sipping on over there?
Little BL, little
Your
BL,
little
little
Bud Light.
little boulette. All right, so we're gonna get started with our worst of segment, which is a chance to go over the worst things that happened in a selected year. We have 4 parts to this segment. We have worst released movie, worst song, worst sports moment, and worst piece of miscellaneous news, which can be pop culture, business, or anything like that. Who went first last week? Well, I don't remember. So I'm gonna have you go first this week. We get 2 minutes for this segment, and we'll see if I copy you again. And when actually, I think it's my turn to go first, but I already said Juice, you'll go first. And whenever you're ready, you have 2 minutes, Kareem.
All right, bet. Okay, for the worst movie of 2003, I'm going with Legally Blonde 2. I think it was called Stars and Stripes or whatever the fuck. It was
Red, white, and blonde. I think I saw this
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking
It
at
was it was based around the 4th of
maybe.
July. And look, I'm sorry, Reese, they could have just kept this one in the drafts. It was just not impactful at all as far as, the impact of the first one. I feel like it wasn't even necessary. Number one ties up everything in a nice little bow for us. Just wasn't needed. Don't even remember 90% of the movie. So that's going to be the worst movie. The worst song. If you've listened to half of our episodes, you've got to know which song that I'm going to pick. Uh-oh.
I knew it. Saw it listed.
That fuck it. I'm not even going to speak too badly about her. Let's keep it about the song. She stole Sean Paul's buzz from Get Busy, and every time the beat drops, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm about to get busy." No, you're not. No. The fucking song is on. I don't like that song. Worst song of fucking 2003. Sports news. Your boy, your GOAT, Michael Jordan retires. And once again, just like Dan Marino, he did not go out on a high note. I don't know what it is with these guys. They wait until they become the villain instead of retiring when they're the fucking hero. He's playing on the Washington Wizards. They end up going 37 for 40 and 45 that season, didn't even make the playoffs. He talked a whole bunch of shit about that team when he left. Apparently, everybody around him sucked. Typical MJ fashion. That's the sports news that I'm going with. Miscellaneous news. Bennifer breaks up. Ben Affleck and J Lo. This was their first breakup. Thought that would be a nice little tidbit since they just broke up again for the 99th time. But this was their first breakup. They were engaged. They broke it off. They officially announced it in January of '04. But obviously, they were probably broken up for a couple of months before that, seeing as how they broke off their engagement. But yeah, that's the worst of comments, concerns,
I
questions.
knew you were gonna pick that song. Like I saw it was there.
I
I knew you were gonna pick it, and that's why I said it before you could even do it. Movie. I don't remember Legally Blonde too. I know I love Legally Blonde, the first one, like fantastic movie. The intro, the song in the intro, so fire. Great. Yeah, yep. And then
you know ball. You know ball.
I had that Washington Wizards Jordan jersey in 6th grade actually. I think I still might have
Okay.
it tucked away.
Okay, I'll let you make because I was gonna say you talk a lot of shit about him.
I don't. He's not my goat. LeBron is my goat. And looky here, man. If we grew up like 10 years earlier and we were like watching his prime, he'd probably be my GOAT. But we weren't realistically watching his prime. Anybody our age that says that they were are liars. And then the older I get, I realize wears these big ass jeans and seems to be not a great person. So I'm just saying, LeBron, better person, better player in well, maybe not better. He's my GOAT. Just put it that way. And I don't think I have anything else. Benifer, that was the year they made Jiggly, I think, too. It was not my movie, but I think that's the year they made that movie that got terrible reviews.
Actually, they made like two or three movies and all of them did horribly. I think '03 was when they did Jersey Girl. I think the one that you're thinking of is either '01 or '02. And
I
that
think
was
it
like
was Jersey Girls. Or you said
that
Jersey Girls?
yeah, Jersey Girl. Yeah, I think that was the
Perfect.
name. Exactly. They were both movies. All of their movies bombed, just like their relationship. They should have seen the signs just off of their filmography, period.
Well, I'll get started with mine.
Let's hear it.
I'm making an effort to this time around only use stuff that I've actually seen or listened to. I think I picked stuff that I haven't actually watched because there were some movies in this time period that pissed me off, but I'd never seen them. So I was like, oh, I can't use these. I'm going Secondhand Lions. It sounds like a pretty inoffensive movie. It's a movie with Haley Joel Osment. His mom sends him to live with his great uncles for the summer or something. There's Michael Caine's in it, Robert Duvall. It's a family comedy, but that's my least favorite genre of movies. There's a period of time where I used to go to the movies with my family all the time, and we had to see movies that were family friendly, and that's the worst shit because they're not funny enough. They're just heartwarming. There's nothing great about it. It's like my worst, least favorite genre of movie. It's like the sitcom of movies, boring as hell. Can't remember a single thing. Secondhand Lines. Music, I'm going Thoyathon by R. Kelly. Well, canceled out a lot of R. Kelly's music because he's a bad person in general. So I had to erase a lot of those from my library. This song was already trashed, so I didn't have to worry about erasing it because that bitch was getting no plays on Now 14. I don't even understand the song. I think he just heard the beat and was like, what does it sound like? So I'm going to say that's the lyrics, unless there's some cool hip lingo that I don't understand. But that song sucks ass. R. Kelly sucks ass as a person and probably does that in other ways too. That's my song. Sports, I'm going with the Steve Bartman incident. If you're not familiar, it took place in the eighth inning of Game 6 of the NLCS. He's the fan that interfered with the player trying to catch the foul ball, and he's a Cubs fan. They end up letting the Marlins score 8 runs in that inning. They lose that game 8-3, lose the series, and it's impactful because the Cubs hadn't won a World Series since I think it was like 1908, and this kept their drought going until 2016. They eventually got one, but this guy was a villain in the Chicago community. For news, the reason I'm going with this one is Natalie Maines of the Chicks, formerly the Dixie Chicks. She was doing an interview and she pretty much shit on George Bush. She was like, talking about the war in Iraq. She's like, we don't want this war, the violence, and we're ashamed that President Bush is from Texas. So I like that part. That's not the worst news. The worst news is country music stations decide to boycott them from the radio. So this is like a less severe version of the Jimmy Kimmel shit going on right now. Country music stations, I know you're for good old boys, rednecks, good old girls, racist. But the thing is here, this was a fair critique. Shout out to the Chicks, man, for, changing their name, getting it done, standing up for what they believe in. George W., we talked about you last episode, man. I would say get it together, but that shit's in the past. So never really did. And you got 2 terms too. That is the
Very
worst
good.
of 2003.
Very good way to tie that back in with the George W. Bush comment, and good for her for speaking her fucking mind, and fuck those radio stations for blackballing the Dixie Chicks because they fucking rock. I don't listen to them like
All of those stations are for sure doing
that.
like moments of silence for Charlie Kirk right now. But that's all I want to say about it. But
the movie that you're talking about, I don't remember it at all. The cast sound, Michael Caine, Haley Joel. This sounds like a great cast.
and he was still riding that high of the Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
My thing is this, like, my dad's not a cartoon guy. So when I'm at the age where he doesn't want to watch cartoons, I mean, that would be something I'd be interested in. We're not a family that we're gonna watch. Like, they weren't letting me see rated R movies when I was super young. So like the selection was limited for a family friendly environment. So we saw a whole bunch of mid ass movies, and like even then that was like my least favorite genre. Like, you ever see that Larry Crown movie with Tom Hanks? No, you probably
I
didn't because nobody's seen it. I saw it with my family because that's the type of movies we see together. And them hoes are boring as hell. But now it's a little different. But I don't want to see nudity with my parents anyway. I saw Forgetting Sarah Marshall with my mom. Saw some full frontal male nudity together in the first 30 seconds.
Oh my God, I bet you were mortified.
Oddly, I'd rather see full frontal male nudity with my mom, I think, than female nudity for some reason. I don't know.
You know
Because
what?
male nudity is funnier to me. That wasn't like female nudity. I'm just like, oh God, my mom's looking at me or watching me or seeing me see naked women. I don't like it. But yeah, not great. No matter how you slice it.
We getting into some apologies now.
We are. That wraps up the worst of 2003. Now we're going to get into our Sorry for 2004 segment sponsored by Ruben Studdard, which is a chance for us to turn over a new leaf in season two and to apologize. What?
Can I make a real quick comment? Are you still glancing at the game?
No, that catch or no. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to comment for anybody watching instead of listening. I reacted earlier to like an almost pick, and I was like, I know I probably look crazy right now. Both of us have the Monday Night Football game on. It's Lions versus Ravens, and we both love football, so we both are keeping our eyes on it. So if anybody watching does see, I mean, like I'm saying, when I rewatched last week's episode, I was like, oh, we're both like glancing at the TV as we're recording. So if anybody does see both of us doing that, just know that we are also trying to keep up with the game right now.
I have no horse in this race, to be fair. It doesn't really matter to me. I know you hate the Ravens because they're in your division. It doesn't really matter to me. But yes, we're turning over new leaves and
Yes.
apologizing to people that we have wronged in the past. I'm going first this segment. We get a minute and a half. Today, I want to apologize to my old manager, Mildred, from the Great American Cookie. So you may remember the Great American Cookie. If you don't, if you're not from a place that has it, it's a cookie stand in the mall. Smells delicious. There's usually free samples in line. People wear the red apron. Trash ass job. And you know what? I kind of knew it was a trash ass job, but because it was a trash ass job, I was like, you know who will probably hire me? Them. So I get the interview. And I remember in the interview, my girl Mildred was like, so Joseph, why cookies? I'm like, bitch, this is not a passion project for me. I just know everybody gets hired. So let's quick the formalities and you just give me the job. Okay. But I feel bad. So this is over spring break. Must have been sophomore year of high school. Worked the whole spring break, worked a shitload of hours. Got my money up, not my funny up. Probably made, it was probably make 5.25 an hour. So I probably made like $80 all week. But I was putting in some work, putting in some time. But then I realized that this is not for me. This life, this job is trash. And I've worked some trash jobs, but this was the trashiest of them all. Like my day two, they threw me out in the kiosk in the middle of the mall, not knowing how to do anything. So I was just in there charging people the wrong price and shit. I'm sure it was awful. So I apologize to anybody that crossed me in the kiosk that day. I apologized to her because I was a weekend and then I quit. And when I quit, I'm pretty sure I quit the day of. And when I quit, I lied and said I quit because my parents don't want me to work there, which was not true. I just used them as a scapegoat. I was too much of a coward to own up for me wanting to quit because the job sucked. So, Mildred, I apologize if I put you in a short staff situation that day. It was probably a Friday because I said I would work weekends. It's my bad. I'm sure y'all recovered just fine. But if not, shout out to the cookie, man. But it just wasn't for me. It
They
wasn't for me.
100% recovered just
I think the life expectancy of that job is like the life expectancy of a mosquito.
it's
There's
like
no way people
48 hour. There's a 48-hour turnover.
There's no way most people are lasted more than like 3 months at that job. Besides the
How
occasional
long were you there?
a week. Right. And then I worked at Chuck E. Cheese for like 2.5 years or some shit, which is also a trash ass job, but whatever. Some reason it felt different. So
Chuck E. Cheese gotta be worse than Great American Cookie, bro.
I was doing a lot more shit for the same money. So, but you could at least move around more and there was more perks. Like a whole bunch of friends worked there and shit. Great American Cookie was just, yeah, man.
Solo
The pricing
dolo.
didn't make any sense either. I remember there was like certain things where you could get a small, medium, and large, like drinks, but then there was like ices. You could only get like a small and a large, and there was no mediums. So I was charging people the wrong prices, charging people for medium ices and shit, and it's not a thing that exists. Terrible job.
All right. I think I can get through this story in a minute and a half. All right. Last week, the story that I told, I mentioned being fresh off of a breakup. This is the relationship from said breakup. Now, we ended up being together for 2 years. Very unhealthy, toxic relationship, which is what you're supposed to do when you're 21. I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of fun stories out of it. This being one of them. She had bought me a promise ring of some sort, being very nice. I feel like she had fucked up at some point, and so she gave me, promise rings were kind of big back then. And so to apologize for said fuck up, whatever it was, she surprised me with a cute little ring. Nothing crazy. It's probably from like Pandora or something. I was like, oh my God, so cute. Thanks, babe. I noticed that it was a little wiggly, but she was like, okay, tomorrow we can go get it resized. This is when I was at Texas State, so we're 5 minutes from the outlets. All right, cool. Tomorrow we'll go get it resized. I take a shower, obviously, that night, and that ring slipped right off of my finger the day I fucking put it on and went right down that drain. As soon 100% accidental, no bullshit. And I feel like she probably did not believe me. I'm still apologizing for it now. I apologized for it then. I'm still apologizing for it now because I felt so bad. It really was accidental. In the shower, just slipped off, went down the drain. I shut the water off immediately. We were on YouTube trying to figure out how we can get it out of there. Never happened. I apologize again because I felt really bad then. I still feel really bad about losing that.
Why? Why? It was an accident and it was a toxic relationship. You still feel bad? You wasting your energy on that shit. First of all, it was probably too big because it was probably a ring she already gifted to somebody else, and they threw it back to her like Sandy did to Danny Zuko in the drive-in parking lot. So don't feel bad about that shit. That shit was probably $20. We were 21 years old. That shit wasn't worth a damn. Like, it's funny and sad at the time, but innocent mistake. Like, let's be real here. That's only like she bought that with like 4 hours of work at American Cookie. She'll be all right. Half a shift.
We need to go back to grievances because there's so many that I could pull out for that girl. We need to go back to fucking beefs in this motherfucker.
Just grill her over and over again. Patty over and over again.
Right. I got 2 years worth of material out of that shit. I can tell you that right now.
Damn, I don't really. We don't need to get into that right now. I don't really have anything crazy that lasted that long. No. All right. Well, that wraps up. Sorry for 2004. Shout out Ruben Studdard, the writer of a fantastic song called Sorry for 2004 that Karrin tried to take a shit on one time, but she don't know what she's talking about. Just like she didn't like the Lumity song.
You know what? I should have made that my fucking worst song for 2003 because the motherfucker wrote it in 03, apologizing for the year ahead of him. What kind of bullshit is that?
Hey,
with your sorry at? Yeah,
hey, he sponsors this segment. Give us a hey.
He does not.
Yes, he does. To me.
I think I got a good question for you this week.
Oh yeah, which leads us to Preguntas, which is a segment where we get to ask each other a random question, and we're not trying to culturally appropriate. It's just an objectively cooler way to say questions, which is why it's called Preguntas.
And you just love saying that.
I do. I like to roll my R's as best as I can. So we get a minute for this segment, and then we ask a question. Correct. Well, you asking first. She'll ask me. I'll get the answer. Yeah. She has a chance for thoughts, feelings, and then I will ask her a question. So whenever you're ready, Karrin, the floor is yours.
Last week, you mentioned like couples being so close. And the question that I thought you were going to ask me, you didn't ask me. You asked me if I felt comfortable farting in front of my significant other or whatever. This is the question that I thought you were going to ask me. And I was like, oh, I'll ask him this next week. Are you one of those people that is like, oh, we're, that's my wife. I don't mind using her toothbrush. I don't mind her using mine.
No, I hate it. First of all, I'm not like super like germaphobe and shit like that. Shit like that grosses me out. And she's like cooler with shit like that than I am. I'm not trying to put her on blast right now, but she's cooler with that. Like, she'll use like the razor sometimes I use for my head on like her legs or something like, and that like, for some reason that's like not a big deal, but it like grosses me out. I don't think she's ever used my toothbrush, but I remember one time when we first started dating, we went somewhere. She didn't have a toothbrush. She used her mom's. I was like, yo, I'm never letting this shit go. This is the grossest shit ever. And I promise you, I'm not married to some backwoods Florida woman. She is a sophisticated, smart woman. She's got a master's degree from Johns Hopkins. She's way better than me in every sense of the word.
She is a classy lady. I can
Classic
vouch.
lady. But she used her mom's toothbrush, and I'll never forget it. And then she, yeah, used my razor to shave. Like sometimes when she's in a jam, I guess she's in the tub already. She just uses it. I'm like, look here, man. Like I'm like, did you use my razor? And it kind of grosses me out. But no, that type of stuff, like, not for me. Everybody's got their own things that
Yeah,
gross them out. That is one of those things that's it's not for me. Not for me.
same. So, yeah, I'm not using nobody's shit. Absolutely not.
I'd rather do the thing where the immature childish thing, like where you like share gum or some shit. Like I'd rather do that than the toothbrush thing.
I'm not sharing gum either. The fuck? You would take a piece of gum out of your wife's mouth and put it in your mouth.
Oh, we're going through a sick makeout session. You kidding me? Of course, because we do that all the time. She's always constantly making out. I'm just kidding. It's not a thing that happens. It's not a thing that happens. When's the last time you made out with somebody? You know, it's great. Hey, you know what? Maybe I should be making out with her more. Where's she at? Bring her up.
Yes.
Make out with her on camera. Yeah, I don't think we're doing enough making out, to be honest. We're making out, you know. But yes. Do you do that?
uh Make out and swap gum.
No. Toothbrush thing.
No, I'm not sharing a toothbrush with nobody else. Nobody's using my fucking toothbrush. I bought like, so I use toothbrushes for random, like I have a toothbrush that I clean my gun with. Full disclosure, yeah, I'm from fucking Texas. Of course, I got a gun. So I bought like and then I use one to clean my shoes because I'm just one of those kind of guys. And then I have one to like spot clean like my clothes. Like if I spill something on like a jersey or something that I'm like not washing constantly, then I'll use it for that. So I just bought like the big cheap toothbrushes. So if anybody ever does spend the night in my house, unprompted, then I have here these, this stray, the cheap one, not the ones that I use on my shoes and shit, but it comes in like a pack of 8. And so if one day a woman or maybe a homeboy just comes over and gets too fucked up and needs to pass out on the couch, I got you, fam. Hit that toothbrush in the morning. I'm not gonna send you packing on your way, you know what I'm saying? With
I use my
stay
finger.
breath.
Many a slumber party. I use my
That
finger.
will, yeah. I feel like if I didn't have anything available, I'll just do it. I'm not going to use somebody else's shit.
I will never use somebody else's shit, and I will never not do something to my teeth. There's nothing worse than going to
Thank
sleep
you.
without doing something to your teeth. Like there's certain things that people are probably more sticklers for. That is one thing.
Yeah,
Unless I just completely fall asleep and I don't wake up till the next day, I will always do something to my teeth or my mouth to make sure that it doesn't, have a layer of shit growing on it the next morning. Not actual shit, just like things like food and
it
bacteria.
is actual shit.
That's disgusting. It's my turn to ask you a question. My pregunta for you this week is, you're a proud member of the LGBTQ community. My
Mhm.
question for you is, who is on your Mount Rushmore of LGBTQ figures? Who are the pillars, in your opinion, of the LGBTQ community? Yeah, 4 people. Who are they?
Sarah Paulson's going to be on there. Sarah Paulson, just gay, period. Been gay. Who else is going to be on there? I kind of want to say Colman Domingo. I don't know why. I just feel it in my heart that he is an iconic gay man. Okay, I got him. I got Sarah Paulson. Who else do I want to put on there? Who else is gay that I love? I don't want to get like too historically deep. I got to say Marsha P, Stonewall, started everything off. Got to throw her on there. Also kind of want to say Laverne Cox. I love me some Laverne. And that's off the top of the dome. I know I'm missing like 99 people and I'm going to want to refine the list. That's just who came. That's just who came up.
Can I tell you something? I have a confession to make. I don't know one name on that Mount Rushmore. Not a single person. Yeah,
Boo this ally. Boo. You don't know
I just
Sarah
kept waiting.
Paulson is?
I was like, that's like, is RuPaul coming or who's coming?
RuPaul on the screen. No, you know them. You just don't know them by name because you don't watch.
Probably.
You don't pay attention to shit like that. But you've definitely seen 3 out of 4. You probably are familiar with Marsha.
Omar from The Wire.
Michael Williams, R.I.P. King. Wait,
We
that's
did
who it
that.
was, right? Michael K. Williams. I
Uh,
don't know who played in The Wire. I think that's. I think
you're
that.
better with like actors and actresses' names. Like I've got an encyclopedia of like athletes' names, but you're really good about actors and actresses. I am
I
not.
didn't. I didn't watch The Wire, so I'm not 100% sure that was his character. Even though that's where I got my nickname from. Fun fact.
Oh yeah, that character's creepy. That's where you got it from?
Yeah, Snoop.
Oh yeah, dude, you need to. That show is fantastic. Like that's like
I
that is a top five show for me, which isn't an original take. It's like most people's, but like
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to like TV shows, I'm a basic bitch. Like all the shows that everybody says are good are typically actually really good. Like The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad. I feel like Sons of Anarchy is hit or miss for most people. Game of Thrones, like those are all like my favorites. Love me some Stranger Things, like, but no, you need to watch The Wire. You
I
need
know. I have heard nothing but good things. But
Michael B.
yes,
Jordan.
I think that you're talking about Michael K. Williams, the one who died, right? A couple years ago.
I believe he did. Yes. So
Yeah.
many people die, I forget,
The
but
scar.
yep, that's him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm dead that you were like, is he gonna be in there?
Okay.
You know that you know 3 of them. You just can't put the face with
I
the.
need pictures, and I'm gonna look this.
So who? Okay, so we know that he's on yours.
Oh, I don't actually have one. Like this is a little more difficult for me. Um, Let me go. Caitlyn Jenner. I'm just playing. Let me go. I got to do one for real. Oh, this is
No,
tough.
you don't have to. You don't have to.
I don't mind doing it. I just you might be here for an hour and a
Let's
half. So I'm gonna
let's
think
let's
about it.
test your allyship.
Oh
You
man.
got Omar from The Wire. That's a banger of a mention. I'll give you that one.
Let me get that one. Let me get.
You're like, who do I know that's gay?
Oh, this is like killing me right now because it's like. Have you ever seen what's is it? Is it Billy Eisner? What's the guy's name that's like that like asks people questions in the street? What's his name?
Oh, is it Eichner?
Yeah, so all those like he'll be like, name a woman, and like you'll freeze and like, oh god, like this is how I feel right now. I'm like, gay people, who are they? I've never heard of them. I was like,
Okay, I'll give you the rest of the show after recommendations. We'll come back to you. We'll come
I'm gonna
back.
be sweating. Palms are gonna be.
You even have time to Google some shit. Gay
When am
people.
I gonna do that? We have literally 8 minutes and 41 seconds left, and we have 2 segments to go. So I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'll list them in later.
All right, let's
I
get
love
into quick news.
McConan. I'm just playing.
Let's get
Uh,
into quick news. We'll do quick news real quick.
All right, we're gonna get into quick news, and quick news is a weekly segment that we do that gives us a chance to go over 4 different current event topics or news stories that vary in topic. So, am I asking a question first? You ask a question first.
No,
I
I'm
did.
going first. I'm going first.
Go
You just
for it.
you get that timer ready.
Oh, it's born ready.
All right, news came out today that Fred VanVleet has suffered a torn ACL. Are the Rockets championship dreams shattered before the season even starts?
I was so upset earlier, and my wife just doesn't get it because she's not a sports person. Like, she just doesn't get it. And I was like, I was really upset, really upset. And I mean, people downplay like Fred VanVleet had like a shitty shooting season last year, but he's been the leader of the Rockets. Kevin Durant's not really a vocal leader, so he was going to be the leader again, and he's like the floor general, and he's very important to the team. And they have their big storylines. They have very shallow guard depth, and now he's out for the whole season. And I do think doesn't shatter it completely, but it's going to be a lot harder than it already was. So yeah, pretty horrific news, in my humble opinion. Get well, Fred. There were some big special teams plays in week 3 of the NFL. 4 block field goals, 2 of which were returned for a TD. 2 return or punt return TDs. Was your team one of the people who benefited, or were they one of the ones that took an L due to these special plays?
Actually, no. I evaded any special teams mishaps this week. And if any of you watched or are Steelers fans and watched the special teams fuck up last week, then you will know that it is very good that nothing affected us this week. So I'm glad that we did not. I think you guys made like a last minute kick to win your game.
Oh yeah, no, the Niners, yeah. Eddie Pinero, our new kicker. Shout out to Eddie Pinero, made a game-winning field goal. We had to get rid of Jake Moody, had to kick that man to the curb. Yeah. No pun intended. Kicked his ass better than he could kick a goddamn field goal. Cardi B. Oh no, it's your turn to ask me a question. I was about to ask myself one. Go ahead.
Cardi B is pregnant with Stefon Diggs' baby. This is number 4 for her. I don't know how many it is for him. Do you care? Yeah, this is her 4th
She has
baby.
4 kids?
She got 3 with Offset. Offset.
Yeah, and they were quick. But also, my concept of time when it comes to shit like this is always warped. I'm like, oh, they've been together like 3 years. And then I like see, like, we talked about this recently. Northwest is like 19 and a half years old, and I thought she was like 2. So, like, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, they seem like they just got together, and like their big thing that I saw was them like him being with a whole bunch of her friends or something, doing drugs on a boat. I'm like, I don't know if that's the best environment to bring a baby into, but you know what? Who am I to judge? I like Cardi B. He seems like a little bit of a head case, and he's probably got CTE now. So, best thing? Probably not. But you know what? You do you, boo. And I heard you had a new album, and it's probably great. Jimmy Kimmel was suspended indefinitely for his comments on Charlie Kirk last week, but has now been reinstated as of today. Do you have any thoughts on this situation?
My thoughts are fuck ABC. The reason that they reinstated him is because they saw that bottom line plunge because they lost almost $5 billion
Because of the mouse,
in
man.
one fucking night off of canceling Jimmy Kimmel. The power is definitely still with the fucking people. I love to see it. They wanted to get out of the fucking lawsuit that he was about to slap the fuck out of them with. So I'm glad that he got his show back. I hope that the administration starts leaving people alone, but we'll see. I doubt that they will.
All right. And that wraps up quick news. Now we go to recommendations. Recommendations is just a chance for us to recommend something we want you to do, see, listen to, whatever the case may be. We split a minute for this segment, and I will go first, I guess, this time. I recommend the Mina Kimes podcast. If you like football, I like her as a personality. She's really entertaining. She's got some good references, and it's a show that gives you overall NFL news, predictions, things like that. I really like her podcast. So Mina Kimes podcast if you're an NFL fan.
Nice rec. I was checking out a new Steelers podcast today, so that's a good rec. The new chapter. Okay, so there's like the Strangers franchise. They kind of like rebooted it last year. So part 2 is coming out this weekend. I am recommending The Strangers Pray at Night, which is technically number 2 in the entire franchise. Came out in 2018. It was heavily slept on. It has some great scares, big 80s vibes on the soundtrack, and the feel and the look of it. I really fucking liked it, even though I'm not even that big on slashers. So if I'm liking it, maybe you guys will like it. It's on Tubi right now.
I will not.
Sorry.
Tubi. Oh, it's a shitty movie. It's on Tubi. That wraps up episode 29. Tubi.
It was slept on. It was slept on. That's why it's on Tubi.
You can find our show on Tubi too. That's how good that shit is. I'm glad they brought the boy Jimmy Kimmel back because they're gonna start targeting us, and we got, they're gonna be like, oh, where are the people with 15 views at? We got to get them too. Gonna throw us into jail or some shit. Episode 20.
We really got to muzzle these guys. They got 16 views this week. We really got to shut these guys down.
4 people. Her mom saw this shit. What would she think? That wraps up episode 29. Man, what a time to be alive. Oh, you're putting me on the spot. We had 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Circling back.
Omar, I've got
RuPaul, you clearly love him.
Jussie Smollett. I'm just kidding. That's his name, right? Let me get Queen Latifah.
Period.
Bringing down the house. Set it off. Is Missy Elliott gay?
You know what? That is a good question. I don't think that she is. That's a maybe. That's a maybe.
I'm not going to use her. I was just wondering. That's like a question I've had for a while. Um, Missy, answer this question for us. I'll go.
She's in one of the 19 views that we have.
I'm gonna go Candace Parker, fantastic basketball player.
Period.
Married one of the lead. I'm looky here, man. I'm no sexiest man alive, but like she married a not a handsome man, had his baby. He played at Duke, Sheldon Williams, and then they got divorced, and now she's with a woman. She's having a good old time. Candace Parker. I gotta have a non-fictional man on there, but I'm like blanking on gay dudes.
Yeah, who's gay?
It's hard, right? When you think about it like this, it's like
Okay, Orville Peck is gay. Love him. Who's another
Orville Redenbacher, the popcorn guy.
singer?
His name's Orville. Off name alone, he's
Singer.
on my
He
list.
wears the mask with the tassels.
Like I
He's
never
a
heard of
bad
him.
bitch.
I
He's a bad
wanna
bitch.
I wanna say like Sam Smith, but I don't really like Sam Smith's music that much. Like we had to watch like
What?
no, he's good, but like we had like my wife made me watch his Tiny Desk a whole bunch of times, and he's talented, but I was over that shit. Um, uh, well, we have less than a minute left, so stay. I'll like formalize this list and I'll post it somewhere because I know the people are dying to hear it. Yeah, Donald Trump, I support gay people. So when you try to cancel us, you probably cancel us twice. But just know if you do try to cancel us, we'll stay canceled, but we'll also stay fly. We're out of here. Go Niners, 3-0, baby. Someone doesn't know how that feels. Someone doesn't know how that feels. Her name's Karrin. Her team's not 3-0. They got Aaron Rodgers. That boy is worst. We're out of here.
Uh,